In my opinion, I have one of the best shiny collections among all the content creators for Pokemon Go. How's it going, everyone? It's me, it's Jinsula. I hope you're having a good day, and welcome to today's Pokemon Go video. So today we're going to be looking at my shiny collection, more specifically all of my Shundos and my high IV shinies. The reason why I want to make this video is because, well, I really feel like when it comes to Pokemon Go, part of the joy is showing off your collection. And because Niantic has not implemented some really good ways for you to do that, I'm going to make a video talking about the Pokemon that I'm the most proud of. Now, the thing that I said at the top of this video, do I think I have one of the best shiny collections among all the content creators? I personally feel like I do, but I know there's going to be content creators out there who are going to disagree with me, and some of them have a lot of merit. Like, there's content creators like Brendan Ton and Fleece King who have way better collections than I do. And no matter how much I work at it, I'll probably never be able to match them. But when it comes to shinies, I have a whole bunch that I know even they are looking for, and I'm really proud of the shinies that I have. So now let's talk about my Shundo collection. Let's start off with my Shundo Rayquaza. This is my favorite Shundo that I have in my collection, and I was able to get it quite early on. You can see here, I got it in 2019, and I feel like I got this really close to when it was released. The day that I got this, it was Suicune Raid Day, and DJ Drogon, who I got this from, is part of my Wafu group. And we were doing some trades, and I was able to pick up this Shundo. I was extremely happy about that. It was completely unexpected. It was one of my first ever lucky trades at the time, and getting a Shundo through a lucky trade was kind of the dream. And yeah, I was able to pick it up, which I was really happy about. Now, the other thing about this Shundo that I really appreciate is, of course, the Mega Evolution, which we recently got. That Mega Evolution was a long time coming, considering I've had this Shundo in my collection since 2019. When I was finally able to Mega Evolve it, it was incredibly satisfying. In fact, for this video, let's actually Mega Evolve it so I could show you what the Mega Evolution looks like of a Shundo Rayquaza. I always am a fan of this evolution animation. It's phenomenal. Niantic did a really good job. There you go. Surprisingly, the size of the Pokemon seems like it shrinks down, which I think is really funny because Mega Rayquaza is supposed to be way bigger than a regular Rayquaza. And yeah, it looks tiny compared to the regular one. Like, if you were to compare Rayquazas, actually, let me do a search. Or actually, you can see here, this is a regular Rayquaza, and if I go to the Mega, it seems like it's smaller. It's kind of weird. But in any case, yeah, let's move on. Going back to my shinies or my Shundos, 4 stars. I got a lot of 100% IVs, actually. If you look, I also got another really good Pokemon on that day. This Suicune was caught on the same day I got my Shundo. Really cool stuff. I was a super lucky boy on that day. But next, let's talk about my other Shundos. I got myself a Shundo Arcanine. This is a wishlist Shundo for me. There was a period where I was doing nothing but Growlithe and Arcanine trades with lucky trades, and one of them produced a 100% IV, so I was really happy about that. And then next up, we got a Shundo Gengar. This is another Mega Evolution that I'm really happy about. This one I obtained, I believe, through Community Day, so this is a wild catch. Speaking of which, that's probably one of the best ways to get Shundos outside of Lucky Trades. Community Days. Why do I say that? Well, if you play Community Days in an active community, chances are that community is going to have a whole bunch of 100% IV callouts. I know that's a bit controversial, but if you happen to be in one of those communities, you can get yourself a lot of 100% IVs within a single community day. And back then, we had 6-hour community days, so there would be plenty of 100% IVs getting called out. And if you go to them, chances are one of them is going to be a Shundo. And that's what this Pokemon was. I was really happy about that. So let's move right along. We got ourselves Mega Beedrill, or Shundo Beedrill rather. Very same thing. It's one of those things where I very often go for 100% IVs during community days because I want to get those Shundos. And yeah, Beedrill is another one of those Pokemon that I got. And then we got my Mega Abomasnow. Now this one is very special to me because I got it in 2020 during Pokemon Go Fest. Yep, that's right. This was the first Pokemon Go Fest during the pandemic. So there was a lot of remote play, and one of the Pokemon that I came across was a Shundo. and it was this one right here. So this one has a lot of meaning behind it. It's my first and probably my only Shundo from a Go Fest. And yeah, that gives it a lot of significance in my collection. Next up, we got a Shundo Gyarados. This is a wishlist item for a lot of people. And just like my Shundo Gengar and my Shundo Beedrill, I got this through a community day. And yeah, I really miss those 6-hour community days because getting a Shundo back then was a lot easier than it is now. Next up, we got my Shundo Chinchino. I, of course, got this during Minccino Research Day. Those research days are actually a lot of fun, in my opinion, and I really do think they're a lot better than community days. I really wish Niantic did them monthly. But yeah, this is a Shundo that I obtained from one of those research days, so do not ignore those whenever they come along. And then next up, I got another Shundo that I really wanted for the longest time, and that is my Shundo Blastoise with sunglasses. This is one that I targeted with lucky trades for a very long time, and I was very happy that I was able to get it. I got this one from 100v100. I haven't seen that player in a long time. I hope he's still playing because he was a phenomenal player. But next up, this is a big favorite of mine. This is my Shundo Garchomp. I really like this Shundo. This is one of those Shundos that I really wanted, mainly because Garchomp is my favorite pseudo-legendary, so naturally I would want the Shundo of this Pokemon. Next up, we got a Shundo Chansey with a Flower Crown. I believe I just picked this up just by playing the game. I was catching every single Chansey I could during this particular event, and one of them happened to be a 100% IV Shiny. Super lucky, I was ecstatic about that. I couldn't believe my luck that I actually came across a Shundo Chansey during an event. No maps or no callouts were used, I just simply caught every single Chansey, and one of them happened to be a Shundo. I think in total, like, every single time there is a Chansey related event, I come out with like a dozen shinies. I think it's perma boosted. So yeah, this is one of those Shundos you could very easily get, and more recently we had Chansey Community Day, so maybe you pick one up during that event. But next up, we got the evolved form. This is Shundo Blissey. Now, this one I got through a lucky trade. I was looking for Blissies now that I got a Chansey. Actually, I think I got this Blissey before the Chansey, but I was really happy about this one because I really like Blissey as a Pokemon. It's one of the best gym defenders. The unfortunate thing is there's not really much of a color difference between a shiny Blissey and a regular Blissey, so when I throw this in a gym, I think a lot of players tend to think it's just a regular Blissey, which is really unfortunate. But yeah, there you go, a Shundo Blissey in my collection. Pretty cool stuff. I'm only missing Shundo Happiny, which I don't think I'm ever gonna get, but if I were to get that, that would complete the family line, and that would be pretty cool. Next up, we got a Shundo Empoleon, and I believe I got this on the December Community Day. Yep, I got it in the 2020 December Community Day, so that was really exciting. Alright, next up, let's move on to my Shundo Porygon Z. I got this during Porygon Community Day, not the Community Day Classic. So when we had the Community Day Classic just a couple of days ago, I pretty much took a break because I already have a Shundo. So what's the point of me going all out for that Community Day? Yeah, in any case, this one is kind of useless. I really just use it to put it in gyms. If the gym already has a Blissey or a Chansey, I just throw in a Porygon Z just for kicks. But yeah, I think it's been defending this gym for a long time. I think it's been defending this one gym for about 20 days. Yeah, that's quite a long time. But anyway, moving right along, we got a Shundo Walrein. This one I got from a Community Day. I have never used this one. Even though I completely maxed it out and gave it the best moves, it's not going to be good for the Master League or anything, so yeah, it's another useless Shundo, but it's still a Shundo outright, so yeah, whatever. Next up, we got my Shundo Venusaur. I got this from the Community Day Classic. Really happy about that one. It's a really cool looking Pokemon, and it does have a Mega Evolution. Pretty cool stuff. Next up, we got Superior, which I got from Community Day. And then we got Embor, which is a Shundo. And then, of course, Samurott. Yep, I completed the line for this generation. Pretty cool. I was really happy about that. I think it's the only generation where I have a Shundo of all the starters. Hopefully I can pick up a Shundo Charizard one day because that will complete the Kanto, and that would be really cool. Next up, we got a Shundo Altaria. I got this from a December Community Day. I believe it was the 2021 one. Yep. And yeah, I've never used this one as well. It does have a Mega Evolution, but as you can see, I do not have enough Mega Evolution candies. Eventually I will, so I could fill the Pokedex with it, but yeah, aside from that, it's basically just sitting there in my collection. I like how the Best Buddy ribbon is just right here on its head. That kind of is a funny position for the Best Buddy medal. But in any case, yeah, it's my Shundo Altaria, and I think I just ruined my hair. Was my hair already ruined? I don't know. But yeah, moving right along, we got my Alolan Golem, another useless Pokemon. A lot of my Shundos are actually useless. That's kind of depressing, but they're really cool because they're Shundos. You know, it's really satisfying when I look at my shinies and I see this, right? Like, this is the dream for a lot of players. I do have a lot of useful Shundos, but I have a lot of useless ones as well. That's just naturally going to happen when you collect a lot of Shundos. Moving right along, we got, I forgot the name of this Pokemon, mainly because I don't care about it, but yeah, there you go, it's another Shundo. Now, this is one that I actually do care about. It's my Shundo Chandelure. I've used this Pokemon quite a lot, even though it's not considered the best. I don't have a team of 100% IV Reshirams, so occasionally I will use this Pokemon whenever I need fire types. It's a very powerful Pokemon, and I'm really glad I have a Shundo of it. Moving right along, we got Chestnut. It's a Shundo of Chestnut. I don't think I really care about this one as well, but it's a Shundo. Really cool. And then here we go. This is one of my favorite Shundos. This is my Shundo Dragonite. Now, I really wanted this Shundo for the longest time, pretty much since Community Days first happened. Like, when Dratini Community Day happened, I was actually in New Orleans for a bachelor party, so I missed out on a good chunk of it, and I was really sad about that because I really wanted at least a high IV of this shiny. Thankfully, we had a Community Day Classic, and that's when I picked up my Shundo. Now, this one is going to get a lot of players unhappy. I think a lot of people are going to be really mad about this, but look at the moves. It has Dragon Tail and Return. Yeah, that's right. I purified for this Shundo. I know a lot of players are not happy about that, but a Shundo is a Shundo, right? I do think it would have been nice if I had a high IV Shadow Shiny Dragonite, but I mean, come on, it's a Shundo. And what's nice about having one Shundo Dragonite? Why not two? I know a lot of you are going to say that you already had a Shundo Dragonite. Why did you purify the Shadow one? I just simply wanted two of them. I'm sorry to say. But there you go. I have two Shundo Dragonites. I probably will unlock that second charge attack. You know what? Why not? I'll just do it right now. And use this for some weird, spicy PvP scenario where Return is going to be really good. It never will be because it's the Master League where this Pokemon will be used. But yeah, there you go. I have a Shundo Dragonite with Return. Maybe there's some merit to that. I really do not know. But we're coming to the end here. This is my most recent Shundo, I believe. This is my Shundo Ampharos. And yeah, really happy about this one. I got this during Community Day Classic. And yeah, this is my most recent Shundo. It's one that I am kind of fond of because I think the Mega Evolution looks hilariously cool. And then finally, we got my Shundo Slowbro. This is another one that I got pretty recently. And yeah, that rounds out my Shundo collection. Now, I also have quite a few 98% shinies. Maybe that's why I would consider my shiny collection a lot better than most others, but I do think that when it comes to 98%, it's kind of a bittersweet thing. Like, it's not going to be a 100% IV, but it's so close. Anytime I get a 98%, I still celebrate it as if it is a Shundo because, you know, a lot of these, like, it's pretty close. Like, they're pretty much going to be Shundos, right? Like this one right here. Like, if you max this out and you max out a 100% IV of it, it's going to be the same stats. That's how some of these work. So, yeah, I really do think having 98% shinies is still really exciting. That's just my personal opinion. But yeah, there you go. These are all of my shinies that I've collected over the past couple of years. I'm basically just playing for Shundos at this point. Like, I know there's players out there who want 100% IVs and, like, you know, they want the absolute best raid attackers or they want to get really high in PvP, but for me personally, it's all about the 100% IV shinies. Even if they're not relevant or even if they do not have a Mega Evolution, I still want it. It's part of the reasons why I still play Pokemon Go. So hopefully there will be more opportunities to get them in 2024. I'm really hopeful that I'll be able to pick up a really good one this year. I've kind of slowed down a little bit on the Shundo grind. Like, when it comes to community days, I'm not really playing as often as I used to, so I really do not know what kind of Shundos I'll get this year, but hopefully I'll be able to get some good ones. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for this video. If you ended up enjoying it, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here. And don't forget that little bell as well so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. And real quick, I want to give a shout out to all of the patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to be a supporter of my content, then make sure you go and check out the links in the description below. For every single member of my Patreon family, they get to play Pokemon Go with me. Yeah, like I will add you to my friends list and I will keep you on my friends list as long as you are a Patreon supporter. So if you want remote raid invites from me, or if you want to level up the friendship system together, then make sure you go and check out my Patreon. And if you want to support my channel in a different way, you could do so by following me on social media. My handle is @Jinsula, and I'm on the platforms that you see on screen. Yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I am Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I'll catch you all later.